Дорогие друзья, рады приветствовать вас на втором международном форуме Women Who Matters. Для торжественного приветствия на сцену приглашаются основатель и генеральный директор форума премии Women Who Matters Анна Рудакова и президент и директор по маркетингу группы компаний «Инград» Анна Соколова.
Дорогие друзья, мы рады приветствовать вас на открытии второго международного форума Women Who Matters. Нам всего 2 года, но за эти 2 года мы выросли почти в 3 раза. 200 спикеров, международные имена, известные личности, общественные деятели, представители российских и международных компаний за эти 2 дня поделятся своим опытом, расскажут свою точку зрения касательно участия женщин в общественной и деловой жизни. Мы собрали для вас лучшие проекты и практики компаний в отношении женщин. Мы действительно собрали все проекты и практики, какие существуют на 2018 год в нашей стране. Нам особенно приятно, что в этом году к нам присоединилось большое количество международных спикеров. Эти спикеры являются лидерами мнений. Они расскажут свою позицию на вопрос гендерного разнообразия и на ключевые темы, которые мы сегодня с вами встретились, чтобы обсудить. И, конечно, это было бы невозможно сделать без наших партнеров. Я бы хотела поблагодарить компанию «Инград», которая является партнером блока «Архитектура, урбанистика и дизайн», что сделали это возможным, а также наших больших партнеров, компанию MasterCard, Google, EY, ВКонтакте, за то, что вы верили в нас и за то, что вы нам помогаете. Мы безумно счастливы, что вы пришли. Нам кажется, что то, что мы делаем, оно вызывает отклик. И, наверное, если сегодня к нам пришли люди, значит, мы стоим на правильном пути, и мы будем продолжать делать все то, что мы делаем, и набирать обороты. Спасибо вам, что вы пришли. Я бы хотела передать слово маркетинговому директору компании «Инград» Анне Соколовой.
Доброе утро. Друзья, несколько месяцев заняла подготовка этого масштабного мероприятия. Мы рады, что все у нас получилось, и мы сегодня собрались под величественными сводами колонного зала в этой дружеской, теплой атмосфере. На улице зима, а у нас весна. Истинный профессионализм не имеет пола, национальности и границ. И это подтверждает сотни участников нашего форума разных профессий из разных стран, среди которых и мужчины, и женщины. Я уверена, что насыщенная двухдневная программа будет вам интересна. За 2 дня вы приобретете новые знакомства, прослушаете выступления наших прекрасных участников и убедитесь, что невозможное возможно. Мы специально привезли для вас дизайнеров, ведущих архитекторов из разных стран. Я уверена, что это будут яркие, интересные и насыщенные 2 дня. Спасибо, что вы сегодня приехали к нам и прилетели. Спасибо.
Итак, объявляем форум открытым, и следует сказать немного организационных вопросов. Напоминаю, что у нас работает 6 площадок, площадки работают параллельно. В этом зале начинается своя секция, но напоминаю, что у нас есть малый зал, круглый, П-образный и средний, в котором начинаются свои лекции по самым разным темам, которые связаны с прекрасной половиной человечества, с женщинами. Поэтому, пожалуйста, наслаждайтесь контентом, который мы для вас подготовили. Спасибо.
Спасибо.
Всем добрый день. Рада вас видеть на нашем прекрасном форуме Women Who Matters. Меня зовут Анастасия Крылова. Я директор Ассоциации специалистов предметного дизайна, креативный директор Design Decoration Center. И самое главное, что я председатель гильдии производителей, поставщиков и специалистов индустрии дизайна при Торгово-Промышленной Палате города Москвы. Для меня большая честь вести этот прекрасный блок «Архитектура, урбанистика и дизайн». Тем более я посвятила дизайну, предметному дизайну практически половину своей жизни, 17 лет. Таким образом, тем более встречать и модерировать суперзвезд индустрии дизайна всего мира, таких как Ванда Эмилини, Альберто Минотти и многих других. Поэтому прошу вас не расходиться и остаться на наш прекрасный блок. И он будет разбит на 4 небольшие секции. Первая секция будет посвящена, скажем так, обустройству и интерьерному дизайну, немножко биоурбанистики. Итак, встречаем первую группу наших спикеров. Прошу запустить ролик.
Секцию «Выступления keynote-спикеров». Как красивый интерьер меняет жизнь человека. Как будут выглядеть города будущего. Почему дворцовая классика снова в моде. Среди спикеров Софи Дональдсон, писательница, журналист, главный редактор House Beautiful. Этот авторитетный журнал про дизайн и декор дома считается ведущим в США. House Beautiful входит в группу крупнейшего медиа страны с аудиторией около 100 миллионов человек. Софи пишет книги про дизайн интерьера. Эва Прего, архитектор, предметный независимый испанский дизайнер. Выпускает коллекции домашней мебели и аксессуаров, в которых главное – функциональность и изящная форма. Винсент Дарре, культовый французский декоратор, дизайнер, известный за свои эксцентричные работы с цветом и формами, в которых находится место юмору, театру и даже сказке. Работал с Ив Сен-Лораном, Карлом Лагерфельдом и многими другими. Про себя любит говорить, что в работах флиртует с сюрреализмом. Владельцы ночных клубов, бутиков и отелей стоят в очереди за его декором. Фабрис Оссе – один из наиболее известных в мире архитекторов и дизайнеров Франции. Совладелец архитектурного бюро Zoe Vox и владелец компании по дизайну интерьеров и мебели Magic Design Lab. Он оформляет отели с роскошными апартаментами и замки, концептуальные магазины и банки, а также выставки для крупных брендов. Эва Кастро, английский архитектор, основала бюро Plasma Studio и лабораторию биоурбанистики, филиалы которых находятся в Италии, Великобритании и Китае. Ула Хелл, архитектор, ведущий архитектор Plasma Studio, член Палаты архитекторов Бальцано. Ванда Эльмини. Она разрабатывает коллекции для домашней линии Missoni, знает все о текстиле, орнаментах и узорах. Лука Баттистелли, итальянский дизайнер, один из руководителей отдела коммуникации и дизайна интерьеров IKEA в России. Это подразделение отвечает за создание интерьерных решений, которые посетители видят в магазинах торговой сети. Альберто Минотти, известный итальянский дизайнер, создавший культовые кухни Минотти Кьюзин. Продукция бренда считается премиальной. Ее сравнивают с дорогими образцами современного искусства, суперкарами, яхтами и бизнес-джетами. Терри Дван, итальянский архитектор, икона дизайна, знаменита тем, что вместе со своим мужем Антонио Читерио спроектировала банк в маленьком городе Сореньо, от которого многие пришли в шок за доминирующий красный цвет. За этот проект Терри Дван присвоили звание «Мисс Экспрессивность».
Евгения Миро, художник, дизайнер, лауреат франко-русской премии Дюгеклена, член Союза художников России и Союза дизайнеров. Работает с Hermès.
Модератор секции Анастасия Крылова, директор Ассоциации специалистов предметного дизайна, креативный директор Design and Decoration Center, председатель гильдии производителей, поставщиков и специалистов индустрии дизайна при Московской Торгово-Промышленной Палате. Модератор.
Итак, прежде чем начать модерацию, я бы хотела поблагодарить компанию «Инград» за предоставленную возможность, что мы имеем реальный шанс пообщаться и послушать таких звезд. Я приглашаю на сцену Софи Дональдсон, Эва Прего и Луку Батистелли. Поприветствуем. Мы начнем нашу презентацию с выступления прекрасного специалиста, журналиста, главной писательницы и редактора одного из ведущих журналов House Beautiful Соединенных Штатов Америки, Софи Дональдсон. You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I'm Sophie Donaldson. This is my first time in Moscow, and it's been fabulous so far. Okay.
Презентацию включите, пожалуйста.
Okay, I'll wait for it to happen. So I was until recently the editor-in-chief of America's largest decorating magazine, House Beautiful, and I became to be known for bringing a sensibility of, I guess, depth and understanding through design in the magazine. And what I mean by that is that for me as a magazine editor, often, how do I say it? You get tired of so much beauty. You see beautiful pictures every day, you're almost exhausted by how beautiful things can be. It's sort of a barrage. But where I found meaning and ways to make it more interesting for my readers was to sort of add the why we create beauty in our homes and what it does for us. Here's a few pages from the magazine. The magazine's 121 years old. It's the longest running magazine in America. We became known for color and how much happiness that color brings to the home. So here's my own home in New York City. I live in Queens in a wonderful neighborhood. Here we are at Christmas time. This is actually my apartment. I live on the 3rd floor with 2 little kids. It's a modest home. I'm a journalist. My husband is a journalist and speaker as well. So when I began to design my home as a magazine editor, I had a lot of ideas about style. But what I didn't realize is that everything you pick ends up sort of playing a role in your life. I didn't expect, for one, my little baby to be bathing in this basin, but it became convenient. The meaning of home really changed to me having children, and I began to enjoy it in richer and deeper ways and understood that our home should not be something that we design for other people, but truly for ourselves. I have 2 boys now. Thank you. So there are a couple trends that I saw evolve at the magazine that I believe can be helpful for both designers in the industry, but then also homeowners, as we're always tinkering with our home. And the first one I call room journaling. And the idea is really telling stories of yourself, your family, and your life through the design of your rooms. So one of my favorite is near New York's Madison Avenue. The woman on the right is Gretchen Rubin. She's a famous author and a New York Times multi-time bestseller. Her project is called The Happiness Project, and it was a book about bringing happiness to all facets of your life. So here she is in her own home with her interior designer. So ever since she was a little girl, she wanted a purple house, and only later in life does she get not just 1 purple room, but 2. And she was also cognizant of bringing joy to other members of her family. So here's a little, it's called a fairy box. It's a little imagination box that she put specifically at eye level so that her children could also enjoy the library even before that they could read. This is a quote from her that I love: "Loving actions inspire loving feeling." And that to me is that if you create a family room really meant to enjoy your family, if you create a bath, for example, that really helps you relax, if you prioritize health, for example, in your kitchen, you will become relaxed. You will become together, happy with your family. You will become healthy because architecture and design inform our behavior. So here's Gretchen's purple living room, which she now uses often for her book clubs and hanging out with her family. And she also included something that is a nod to her family members. If you see at the top of the bookshelf, the Roman numerals, These are the birth dates of each of the grandparents in her children's life. So it's her mother and father and her husband's mother and father, their birth dates. And to me, this is so interesting. It's both decorative painting, it's beautiful just as the way it is, but it holds really deep and resonant meaning for her. And her mother-in-law can never complain that there's no pictures of her or nothing about her because she feels included in the family house. As the editor-in-chief, you write an editor's letter every month, and mine became quite personal. I know how much it costs to place an advertisement in a magazine. It's a lot of money. So I always felt a responsibility to use that page for something special. This is a letter that I wrote about a version of this room journaling that I have from my father, who passed 5 years ago. He and I were very close, and I now keep a little shelf with memories of him. So it's sand from Bermuda, where we vacationed when I was a kid. It's a love note that he wrote me and a picture of the two of us together. And I wrote in this letter that became very popular and shared a lot, that even before you can talk about something, or even before I could write about my father, moving around the pieces of memories that we shared together helped me heal from his death. Just a couple examples of design, including memories. This designer, Sean Smith, included the favorite fabric of his grandmother on a sofa in his own home. He's just in his early 30s, but there's mementos all around his home. This is in New Orleans. So for example, a chest from his grandmother became the impetus for the entire room decoration. Here again is somebody that had a love of nautical, and this gentleman had paintings of boats all over the house, and it was just not attractive. It wasn't a very nice home, and so the designer collected it into one room that had much more power when they were placed together. Again, hunting trophies on the bottom left there that became useful. So the second trend that I'd like to present, I call fearless specificity. And what that really means is the idea of knowing yourself very well. This is something that I find with especially older clients. By the time you're in your 50s and 60s, maybe you have a uniform of the way you dress. Maybe you really understand what it is that you need in your home and what matters to you. So the idea is to design for your passions, not around your passions, not to make excuses for it. So here in San Francisco is a room for bathing dogs and also for doing the laundry of dogs. The wallpaper is de Gournay, it's hand-painted. And so for somebody that really just loves dogs, this is the ultimate kind of oasis for them. Here's another woman that did a similar thing. She's an entrepreneur, Annie Selke. She runs a number of businesses in America. And she was so sick of sharing her space with dogs. She felt like the dog bed was in the kitchen, she was tripping over it, that she was sharing, dog food was left over in the refrigerator, and it made her feel gross, and she was tired of sharing. So here's another quote to say that when you change your habit, you change your life. Her new habit was to keep all of the dog things, including their laundry, their food, their accessories, their leashes, where they bathe, in one space, allowing her to have the kitchen of her dreams finally, where she stripped it away of all of these things from life, and finally just lived quite simply, because she really knew what she needed. She knew how she liked to cook, so she knew her cookware, and she could design for that. This is an easier way of doing it, which is just simply to leave space in your cabinetry to push the dog bed in, and they still feel part of the action, and yet you're not, tripping over them all the time. This is a story in upstate New York. The client is an Egyptologist. She studies Egypt. She's a scholar. And if you know Egypt, you'll know that the beetle, the scarab, plays an important role. And so the decorator had come up with this custom tie-back as well as a custom wallpaper to represent her love of Egypt, which I love that idea that she so knows herself and so enjoys it that she could commit to that in a very big way in her home. My third trend relates to the power of small. And I think as we get older and we get larger homes and these sort of more means to create, people tend to go big. You want a bigger home, you want more space, and yet in our memory, we remember our first apartment or the smallest flat we ever had. We remember the smallest spaces in our life. It's the same reason that if you go to a party, people are all clustered in the kitchen, or they're somewhere where they're gathering together, that there's an intimacy when things are small, and we have a lot to learn from that. So I call the trend child caves. This is my favorite design book, A Pattern Language, and one of the chapters in there talks about how children are always hiding in cabinets and cubbies. The book goes on to detail how children hide behind stairs and under, and how you should create that space in a home if given the opportunity to do that. Here's my own children finding small spaces in what's already a very small apartment in New York, but the need to create small spaces in a big world is something that children can teach us, but it's also something that we can bring to our own home. So here's a new home. This is a stairway to a secret children's space. It's just a part of the attic that they finished off, but the stairway is a surprise because it's behind a closet door. So a child could use their imagination, open the door, and bring their friends upstairs to this hideaway that's only the right size for children. In North Carolina, this is a brand new home. This was built only a few years ago, and yet the architect, James Carter, decided to add all of the quirks of an old space. So walking up and down the stairs, crunching the size of the ceiling to feel like an older, more intimate home. And the idea is to let the homeowner and also visitors be on a journey, basically. So he specifically crunched this area. You almost have to duck as you go in and up the stairs. And then you open to this. And it's an amazing architectural trick where you feel that the drama of a large space is even more dramatic because you've come from somewhere small. It also works if you can use dark paint in a hallway and then go to a bright white bedroom. All of a sudden, the impact of that space is disproportionately large. But he also decided not to create a dining room in this home. And Americans really struggle with their dining room. We have it always awkwardly placed. Nobody uses it. People walk around it. And in this scenario, the dining room is actually placed, here you are, if you're here, you're looking at the windows that way. He placed it under a shelter. And you can see that the ceilings are triple height in the large room, but here the ceilings are low. And the reason was that the architect told the client, if I put the dining room in a separate room, you'll never use it. And so they created this little nook, and the family eats there all the time. I love this detail of the buttons to hang the upholstery here. But there's a lot to learn from, even though we have a large space, to make sure to find small spaces, because that's where people tend to cluster. My final trend is one that every time I look at this slide, I'm like, it's just a real, you can't help yourself but to breathe when you see an expanse of forest and wilderness. This is called forest bathing. The idea of forest bathing is it's a Japanese concept used in preventative health called Shinrin-yoku. And it supposes that even just some time in the forest or the woods or outdoors, surrounding yourself in nature is medically shown to lower blood pressure and decrease stress. And that we can all benefit from this in our own homes. And one thing I've seen the rise in America, even in very cold cities like Minnesota, is that people really want outdoor rooms. They feel drawn to this, and you can argue that technology has pushed us there, but we've known for centuries what that makes us feel like. They used to send sick people to the seashore to heal themselves. So here's one in the Carolinas again, and another one actually in Tennessee. These beautiful outdoor rooms where you really feel like you're surrounded by nature, but you're still enjoying the comforts of home. It's been shown that patients with hospital rooms with a window heal faster and go home quicker than patients without one. And I think we have a lot to learn from that. And so I present this idea not just of adding greenery inside, but bringing your inside outside into an outdoor living room where this is a TV that turns into art, a fireplace, there's surround sound, there's fans, and it's totally open to nature, truly allowing you to forest bathe in your own space. And so one thing just to think about is design through the lens of how it is making you feel and why you do design. It's not just for inspiration and for beauty and to lift you up in the way that art does, but truly to inform your behavior, to meet your goals in life. And so I encourage you to think more well-rounded about your own home. Thank you.
Thank you for your presentation. Sophie, thank you very much. We do appreciate your presence here, like a part of our design society. Thank you. И я бы хотела немножко отрезюмировать и подчеркнуть то, что, как говорит Софи, очень важно, чтобы каждый наш интерьер имел душу, которая выражается через детали, через историю, через любовь. И поэтому я считаю, что это очень важно относиться к дизайну интерьера таким образом, вдохновляясь семьей, традициями и, конечно же, современными трендами. И теперь я передаю слово второму спикеру нашей группы, известному испанскому дизайнеру Еве Прего. Ева, you're welcome. You can start your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much to invite us to show our studio. I'm sorry because my English is a little bad. I hope you understand everything. We are a studio. We are based in Madrid. Our name is Stone Designs. Kutu and me founded 23 years ago. We started like interior design, but little and little we were making the industrial design for our own projects, interior projects. And after that, working a lot, nowadays we are working for Nordic companies and Japanese companies for industrial design. I'm sorry, I am speaking. I'm sorry. This is my partner, Kutu. Kutu is in our studio. We changed our studio 2 years ago in a small village in Madrid to find outside and space, and bueno, we are very nice there. This is Kutu and me. And here is our team. We are very lucky because thanks of our team, we can do our work because they are fantastic, very professional people, committed, and very good people is the most important thing. And our studio always, we wanted to be an international studio. We work a lot in Japan. We have a technical offices also in Moscow. That picture is our team here in Moscow with nowadays a studio. And also we have another offices in Shanghai. Bueno, some picture of the summertime in our studio. There are our kids and every people who work on stone. This is a picture of our studio. We choose the name of this speech. We choose Feel Through Color and Material because when journalists are making an interview, always they ask us where is our own stamp on our design. And I think this can be the meaning of this question, no? Can be the answer. Now I am going to show you some pieces, and interior design is mixed. On this case is Ginkgo panel, is an acoustic panel. We designed for Black Station, bueno, in Swedish is Blue Station or something like that. Is inspired by ginkgo leaf. It's a typical Japanese, bueno, it's in everywhere, but it's typical from Japan, this tree. And with these shapes, it's very easy to create different landscapes and playing with the color. Here you can see some. We use this acoustic panel to, we work here in Moscow from, I don't know exactly, but from 10 years ago, more or less. Our first project was a bakery in St. Petersburg. This is a business center near here in Mohovaya Street. The name is Business Center Mohovaya for MCD Group. We design every, common areas on this place. This is the restaurant. We had a very long wall, and we wanted cover this, showing the passing of the time. It was a very, very long wall. Then we represent the different seasons: autumn, winter, spring, and summer, like you see here. And this is the application of on the images. This project stopped 2 years ago, and we hope reactivate. Here you can see some picture, and we love this restaurant. And 2 years ago, more or less, we did a project by context to Sochi, to an hotel 3 stars, and we love the result, and we love especially how we resolved the bed. Like we use a carpet, like a headboard, and at the same time the carpet covered the floor with the same object, no? Here, and after that, last year in New York, in ICFF, we present a collection looking for, we noticed that the acoustic the carpet has very nice acoustic properties. Then we looking for which elements we can in a place we can use like acoustic installation, no? Then we find that this was very nice. And another, this is like an art installation. It's just a circle with a fold, and we increase the effect with the color, changing the color. You see, you can with the shower, you can see the shadow. I'm sorry, with the shadow, like is with volume. Yeah. And here is a shelf. We put in every stand a light down them. The carpet make this with the color, making a degradation. We accentuate this effect. And also, this is like a corner element. Playing with the colors, with 3 colors, we accentuate like work the light on a corner. And we put also a light bulb there. Well, we are very happy with this project. Lexus, this was a project, you see 8 years ago. And was very nice project because when we work there in Japan, we always learn a lot of everything, of how the sensibility and a lot of Lexus look for because they like a lot how we work with the color. And they wanted in 3 different models, IS, GS, and RX, models of Lexus. We work on the color and trim, on the color and materials on the interior. Here you have the, bueno, this is the first IS, and we wanted we use a lot this, bueno, I'm sorry. We think that we can do a story about the light. And on the sunrise, middle of the day, and sunset, no? And like we have 3 cars, IS was represent sunrise. Then we use blue color. When at first of the day the light is more blue. And we think how the light become to the car, and in the morning come from front of the car. Then we work with the color on the interior, but it was very important for us work with the interior, not seat by seat, sino like a whole interior. Here is RX. Is in the middle of the day. Then is more yellow. In the middle of the day, when the light is the things looks brightness. Here you can see, no, the interior. And when I see like we work like a whole car, it is because if you, bueno, perhaps in the next you can see easier. White, please. This is GS. Is sunset, and we like the light come from the back. Here you see where this picture inspires. O sea, you can see very nice. The light is coming from the back. This is the reason to use the yellow, the orange color. And you can see the seat it's like a hole. The orange color is on the both sides. This is a project, the headquarters Coca-Cola in Madrid. This is a very nice example how we use the color on this case. When you think on Coca-Cola, perhaps the first thing is on your mind is the color, no? The color, red color is very important. Then when you work on an interior, you can use the red color in everywhere because at least you can see, it's inappreciated. Then we combine with green to sustainability. Bueno, every company is closing with the naturalism, and also we want do combine with several colors from yellow to red, going through orange or making here is the hall. And this is the entrance. We use like a Roman mosaic on the floor. Here playing with the bottles. This bottle was signed by the people who work there in Coca-Cola. And I wanted to show you this detail because this experience on Russia and Russia culture. 4 years ago, we were in Suddal, a very nice city. We love a lot. We work with ceramic fabric there. We had luck because we can see the countryside and typical tradition, Russian tradition. And there in the Sachas, they for how you say for the cold you put between the boards good rope, and this detail inspires very a lot, and we use this detail for several projects. And here you can see with the red rope here in Coca-Cola, thinking about this detail, no? This Russian detail. Here, for example, we use represent wave Coca-Cola with fabric. We cut some boards with different cuttings doing the wave, no? And there is fabric. The color red is fabric.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting you, but we have another speaker.
I'm sorry.
Okay, time is over.
I go faster. I'm sorry.
No, we didn't have any time.
No.
Time is over, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you very much for your input. Please take your seat. Thank you. Хотела просто подытожить выступление Евы. Вы, наверное, заметили, что испанский дизайн отличается использованием очень мягких, теплых тонов, изящных таких красивых форм, и даже функциональные вещи, интерьеры и предметы интерьера у Евы, они такие благородные, теплые, и от них просто, в них чувствуется солнце, тепло и вообще радость, свет и эмоции. Хотела просто обратить внимание на 4-е кресло на нашей сцене. К нам подошел, вернее, ворвался без спроса, и он не должен был быть сейчас здесь, Винсент Даре. Винсент Даре? Hello. Да. Назовем, что это un clandestino, потому что он немножко здесь посидит. На самом деле он выступает позже, но ничего страшного. Итак, мы переходим к следующему спикеру, крайнему спикеру нашей первой группы. Luca Battistelli, топ-менеджер компании IKEA в России. Luca, la invito a fare la presentazione. Grazie.
Hello, everyone. I would like to take the chance speaking to you here to talk about democratic design here. And it sounds a bit political, this phrase, democratic design. And it is in a way, I think. It starts, our founder, Ingvar Kamprad, he passed away last year. He was a great dreamer, and he wrote many years ago a phrase which was something that inspired me a lot. He said, we have decided once and for all to stand with the many. And the many are the one with big dreams and small wallets. And this is a big phrase because, you know, sometimes we think that the many are, you know, they have average dreams and average everything. But, you know, the many is people. People with big dreams. And, you know, the wallets are what they are. And, you know, of course, when we talk about the many people, the dangerous thing is to talk about average, because average tells you need to be very careful about average. Average can tell you that, we have average 1.5 kids, a family, but actually in reality, nobody has 1.5 kids. There's somebody with 2 kids, and somebody with 1 kid, and somebody with 0 kids. This is the reality. Of course, the average tells you a number, But you need to be very careful to work with average, because sometimes you do something for somebody who doesn't exist. And we want to do it the other way around. We are not thinking average. We are thinking every single individual. This is our task. When we do stores, when we do interiors, when we do products. I've been lucky enough to work also with the products. You know, I worked in Sweden developing products. I worked in Italy. I worked now in Russia. And really, in everything we do, we think not average, but we think the many people, but one by one. And of course, here, there is somebody living here, not an average people, but somebody living here. And somebody else is living here. And somebody else is living here. And it's different people with dreams and needs, with small and big wallets, but always it's people. And this is what we do, because we design for people. Because a room without people, it's nothing. You know, it's just it's not needed for anybody. A room without the people. We design for them, and actually, it was interesting to hear the presentation earlier, because what we do, designing for people, we don't aim for perfection. People is not perfect. The beauty of people, of the reality, is the imperfection. Is to plan this beautifully imperfect thing that stays in every room. Perfection, in general, when we see this beautiful, perfect picture that you said you're tired of, I understand, because this perfection is something that doesn't exist. But this beauty with some small, let's say, defects, this is the beauty, this is the everyday beauty that we want to aim for. And this is, for example, this is a room designed for real people, with kids, with reality. And sometimes things match, sometimes match more or less, but this is the beauty that they match more or less. And of course, we design starting from ourselves. Our designers is us. This is one of our designers working. And sometimes, of course, we design from the desk, but sometimes we design directly from the factory floor. Because people in the factory floor can tell you a lot of good ideas how to develop a product that can cost a little bit less. Still, you keep the same beauty, but they cost a little bit less. And magic things can happen in this ways. I always put a price in the pictures, because IKEA has always a price. So it's maybe it's weird to see here, but I think it's nice to see a price, because it tells if we can afford it or not. Of course, we design for needs. We don't design for women, we don't design for men, we don't design just for kids. We design for needs. And once that I understand the needs that people has, then I can design a product. It could be an organizer for jewelry. It could be whatever you think, but we start from the needs of people. And then, of course, once you found your needs, then you can choose what you prefer. Then you can choose what you like. But everything starts from the needs. Then, of course, life is not only needs. Life is also dreams. We want to tell everybody who we are. I mean, the way we dress, the cars we drive, the watches we wear, whatever. And of course, our home is part of us. So of course, we want to talk also about dreams. We want to be able that people can tell their own story in their own homes, describing who they are and who they love, and what they want to show or not. Simply, we design for life, because this is the beauty. The beauty is that we get into people's life. a lot of time that people stops me and tells me that, you know, I went to IKEA, I buy this I have in my home. It's fantastic because you feel that everything you do, you really have a real impact on people's life. And this is amazing. I mean, once in Italy there was an advertising which was saying how many kids were born on IKEA beds, were conceived on IKEA beds. It's, you know, you do something that has a real impact on people's life. And this is, I hear it every day from when I talk to people everywhere. And this is, to me, is the best feedback that I can have from my work. So democratic design, what is democratic design? Democratic design for us is our guiding star, it's our northern star. And it's made of 5 things. There was a pentagon, because it's made of 5 things. And if we do a right job here, we do 5 things better. The first thing is form, because of course, forms is about beauty. And it's about bringing the beauty in the everyday life. Sometimes people, especially people who have not so much money, they have to live without beauty. And this is really, it's a pity. This is a shame, because everybody should be able to live with beauty, surrounded by beauty, no matter how many money you have, because beauty is something that everybody should afford. So form is about beauty. It's about the beauty of products that you have around, surrounded by you. And I just took an example of what if for me is a very beautiful lamp. The form is really beautiful. It's a simple shape. But of course, what is beautiful? Because I'm sure that in this room, there will be half of the people who likes it and half of the people who doesn't like it. But if you don't like it, then you can choose another form, because what's beautiful, you decide. It's not us. It's not a company that decides what's beautiful. It's people who decide what's beautiful. Of course, we can give different kind of beautiful shapes and forms, but people then decide what is beautiful for them. Then, of course, after form is function, because without function, nothing is worth to be designed. And function is about a better product that gives an added value. Better product that can give you, let's say, more features, more benefits. Like an example, like this simple table. It's a table and a tray. It's a side table, it's a tray. So why to buy 2 things if you can have 1 and 2? And then you have a nice idea how to move this, because of course it's very light, there's a handle. And then if you don't like it, there's different colors, and there is also different kind of tables like that if you don't like the style itself. But the function is there. Then, of course, a very important thing is the quality. How the products age. Sometimes, you know, a nice leather is more beautiful when it's a bit used. But products, they have to age in a beautiful way. And this is about quality, how they stand the time. And this is also an example. I'd say this is like a clothing rack made in wood. Wood is a very, very precious material. We need to be careful when to use it, because especially when we work with big volumes. And wood is something that you need to think twice before using, because there's not so much wood in the world. And then when you use it, you need to be careful and to use it properly. But in this case, actually, I was also involved in the design of this product itself. I mean, we really decided to work with wood because we wanted to show also the nice detail of the wood. And we are sure that in this case, this product will age gracefully through the years and will stay together with you for as much as you like. Connected to wood is sustainability. Sustainability is not a trend. Sustainability is a must. Whatever we do, we need to be careful. I mean, we see what happens with the climate change. Sustainability is a must for every company. And it's about making better products and starting with sustainable materials. This is just an example of a chair. This chair is made by 35% recycled wood The rest is recycled plastic, and it's together in a composite, and it's a material that we call wooden plastic. And you can mold it in whatever shape you want. It's really beautiful. It's fantastic touch feeling. The chair is great, but actually we produce this chair not using one single resource that it was not used before. And I tell you, it's not cheaper to do like that. It's not cheap. Sometimes it's more expensive to use these products. But it's a sustainable. It's a responsibility that we have to take as a company. Last but not least, of course, working for IKEA is low price. And low price, of course, and I tell you, having worked also in the design, it's easier to produce a product, a beautiful product with a, let's say, high price or medium price. When you have to produce a beautiful product with a low price, that's a hell of a job, really a hell of a job. If it takes 1 year or 6 months to develop a high-priced products, it can take 2 years, 3 years to develop a low-price product because it's a hell of a job. So I have a full respect of a product like this, which has a beautiful shape and a beautiful design, and it costs €1, even less than €1. And also a product like this. I added really, almost yesterday, these pictures, because I read on Facebook on Facebook on a page of an Italian designer, the founder of Alias and the founder of Baleri Italia, Enrico Baleri. He actually posted a picture of this chair. He has actually designed many chairs, but he has this chair at home, and then he was sharing that, this chair is fantastic. Has a great quality. It's really comfortable. It fits my sleek table in a fantastic way, and it cost just €10. So it's great. And to me, it was just the best possible feedback that a designer like that has this chair at home and actually share that. And I tell you, I know the designer of this. He was quite happy of this feedback. And it's not easy to design something like this. It takes really takes respect to design something like this because it's very difficult. So that's it. Form, function, quality, sustainability, and of course at the end, low price. There's nothing more important. There's nothing less important. Every one of these 5 dimensions is equally important. And that's what we do. We design for people. We design for life, and we try to bring beauty in people's home, in every people's home. That's it, mostly.
Sì, la ringrazio molto, è bellissima presentazione, soprattutto per il contributo che fate voi in Russia. Ci mostrate come si arreda bene, cosa vuol dire il design contemporaneo è molto importante, perché in Russia abbiamo gusti un pochino specifici e alcune persone ancora non capiscono cosa vuol dire il design contemporaneo, e se per esempio l'oggetto costa pochissimo non vuol dire che è brutto o non funzionale. Grazie mille. Per human approach, grazie.
Спасибо, большое.
Итак, хотела немножко подытожить и сказать основное, что в чем вообще сама прелесть IKEA, их философия, в том, что они ориентированы на человека, и если мы видим стул, который стоит 5 рублей, это не значит, что этот стул не является дизайнерским. То есть у нас в России, к сожалению, еще остались такие стереотипы, что хороший дизайн должен стоить дорого. Да, дизайн должен стоить дорого, если используются дорогие материалы. И есть, скажем так, немножко технокрафта или нового ремесла. Но дизайн должен быть для людей. И если мы имеем возможность покупать дешевые вещи, не очень дорогие вещи, и они красивые, и они украшают наш дом, это очень важно. И тем более хочу поблагодарить отдельно Луку, потому что он не просто топ-менеджер компании IKEA в России, но он также отвечает за все интерьерные решения, которые мы видим в магазинах. То есть все эти композиции, которые нам помогают каким-то образом украсить наш дом, подсказывают, как это сделать лучше, это благодаря ему. Спасибо большое. Grazie mille. Итак, я бы хотела закончить нашу первую секцию, вернее, попрощаться с нашими спикерами первой группы.